everyone. I thought I'd do another video just to share some insights to our virtual learning scheme. So today I thought I'd give you a bit more information on our third webinar, which is Getting the Basics Right, Eat and Move. So this is the programme here. You may have seen my previous video, which gave you a bit more of an insight into the Sleep and Relax webinar. And previously I've looked at the Healthy Home Working Hacks. So this scheme will be delivered throughout May, June and July. There's hour-long sessions and delivered by Zoom. And as an organisation, you can basically get weekly webinars for just £200, an introductory virtual learning price just for this lockdown period, really, to try and support staff, offer some development whilst many of us are working remotely. So if you've got up to 20 staff, you can get it for £200, and for that you get these weekly webinars. So they're written perfectly for all staff, so regardless of role, everybody's going to get something from it. So I just thought I'd give you a really quick insight to this third webinar, Getting the Basics Right, Eat and Move. We get our inspiration for a number of different resources, and at the end of each session we'll point you in a great direction to a number of books, TED Talks, YouTube clips, further learning. We'll do that at the end of every session. So if anything is particularly pertinent for you, you can access that further learning. I picked up a great tip on this topic from a book by Dr. Rangan Chatterjee from his 4-Pillar Plan book. Now I'm somebody that I really enjoy cooking, and I pride myself really on a bit of a hobby of mine. I'm no master chef, but I really enjoy cooking. And because I cook most stuff from scratch, I kind of know what's in there, and I believe that I'm giving my family the best start. However, even when I read this book, I learned so much more about how I can feed my body and brain the best food. And one thing just for you to take away, and it's something that's quite useful for while we're in lockdown, he talks about eating 5 colours of fruit and veg. Now, we're all probably aware about eating 5 portions of fruit and veg, and there are variations on that theme, but he talked about eating 5 different colours. And this really got me thinking. We eat a lot of the same veg, and that means basically, and I'm no expert clearly, but basically we're putting the same vitamins and nutrients in our system. So actually, if we look across the rainbow of colours, so if we look to red cabbage and courgette and sweet corn, for example, therefore already we're getting 3 different colours. Now, it's quite a challenge actually, and I realised that I was eating a lot of the same, eat a lot of green veg, but I was missing things like aubergine and red cabbage and stuff like that. So it's a little tip and a little challenge to you really, is just try and put more colours of fruit and veg, particularly veg. If you try and eat 5 different coloured vegetables in your day, it's a good challenge to do because it's not easy. It requires a bit of planning of your meals, and I'll look at that in the webinar a little bit further. It requires a bit of planning in your shopping too. So have a think about that. Have a look on his website. I'll put a link in the comments. He has a really great kind of checklist that if you've got children in the house, it's quite nice for them to use to select what colours they've eaten that day and to keep a bit of a track. So there's one little tip. Try and challenge yourself to eat 5 different coloured vegetables in one day. So in the webinar, I'll go much more into how we can eat best for our brain and also for our body, and also what kind of activity and movement we can do in this period of lockdown. We're obviously only allowed outside for an hour for our exercise, but there's lots of things we can do inside as well. And even if you're working, if you're in the office, there are things that we can talk about that you can do there to make sure you're staying reasonably active. So there you go, there's a bit of an insight to the basics of Eat and Move. The next video we'll do will be on the neuroscience topic, so we'll share that in the next couple of days. So stay safe, stay at home, and see you soon.